everybody, it's Jake with Keller Williams, and I know I'm not looking like I should be in a kitchen right now. It's actually a borrowed kitchen, but it is late and I have to have this ready in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and make do and run through real quick my family's secret recipe for Christmas morning. It is called Blueberry Crunch. Now, I gave this to someone had someone try it last year that says they are not a blueberry eater, and this was amazing. So maybe they are now, but I've already got my ingredients mixed just for the sake of time and keeping the video short, so I can give you the recipe and show you how to make it, because there is a sequence in here that you need to get right, and I'm going to show that to you. So what you're going to need is, I do a little bit of alteration of the original menu, or the original recipe, which calls for a 9 by 9. I like to use the 9 by 13 because I like to eat more. You're going to use about a cup of sugar. So my wet ingredients here, I've got about a cup of sugar, 3/4 of a stick of butter. So half a stick is a 1/4 cup, full stick is a half cup, so 1/3 of a cup of butter, but 3/4 of a stick, 2 eggs, and 3/4 a cup milk. So once you put those in here, make sure your butter is softened, otherwise you're going to be covered in stuff everywhere. Mix it up. Okay, so once you've got that mixed really well, you're going to get, so I've got about 3 cups of flour. If you're using a 9 by 9, use about 2 cups of flour. This is self-rising flour. So if you don't have self-rising flour, you're just going to add some baking soda into that. So if you've got 3 cups of flour, you're going to add about 3 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm not sure if I said soda or powder, but baking powder, and then about a half teaspoon or so of salt. So important part of this is, and this is kind of the annoying part, is you're just going to sift it in, because you really want to make sure that flour is going in not clumpy. So I do about one of these at a time, and for the sake of not boring you to tears with the video, I will cut out this part and show you what we have when all is said and done. But very important that the flour is sifted. All right, so if you do this correctly, this is what it should look like. It's kind of like marshmallow fluff meets Cold Stone Creamery ice cream. That's the consistency you're looking for. And then I've got my blueberries. Now, I'm going to give you my little secret here. I only make this once a year, because the step I just did, if you do it like I did, it's really annoying. You're like, oh my gosh, when is this going to end? But the blueberries, I pick usually around 4th of July, and I put them in the freezer, and they come out for this. So these are as fresh can be, 6 months in the freezer, and also because blueberries are stupid expensive. And I'm going to tell you the recipe as far as the number of blueberries, and at the same time tell you I don't know how many blueberries it is. So what this is a full, I think it's a quart bag of blueberries. So it's the one between the sandwich bag and the gallon bag. The middle bag, that's what this is. So however many cups or whatever that is. Let me see my recipe. Yeah, it doesn't even say cups. It says pints. It says 1 pint. So I would say 1.5 pints. And you gotta just kind of fold them in like this. Really. So I like to use a lot of blueberries because it gives it a lot of extra flavor. You don't have to use this many. Again, if you're on a tight budget, or you got a lot of eaters, blueberries are stupid expensive. And then you're going to put this in here, and I'm gonna do that real quick. My little secret step in this process is just kind of coating the butter. I get a stick of butter and just kind of rub it around the bottom. Gives it just that little extra greasing, and butter never hurt anything. So, all right, so once it's in, it should look something like this, very solid. The great thing about this is, I'm just gonna call it health food, because blueberries are a superfood. So I think it qualifies. All right, your topping. This is 3/4 of a stick of butter. And again, this is for the 9x13. If you're doing a 9x9 or an 8x8 or something like that, just pare that down by about a third. So you'd use like a half stick of butter. So 3/4 of a stick of butter, a about teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Somehow we got this cinnamon called Saigon cinnamon. If you use Saigon cinnamon, pare it down a little bit because I don't know where it comes. I don't know what Saigon's deal is with cinnamon, but it's a little more potent. So I err on the shallow side where I would normally go a little extra on the ground cinnamon. This is about a half a cup of flour and what is it? About the same on the sugar. So flour and sugar are pretty close. You can use a little more sugar if you like a little extra crunch, but if you want to do them the same, it'll work out fine as well. So that's all that's in here. If you want to get crazy with it, you can always add some brown sugar. Brown sugar and butter never ruined anything at Christmas or Thanksgiving. So, and you're really just mixing it up like this. So I'm gonna be completely honest. I talked myself into the brown sugar, so I just went in the pantry and added some brown sugar. But it should be kind of like Play-Doh when you're all done with it. And then just kind of go around and just break it up on top. Don't worry, it's got butter in it, so it'll melt in all the places it needs to get to. You're gonna just sprinkle it around. You're gonna bake this for anywhere, I mean, depends on your oven, anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour on 350, 375, 375. And again, just that's about all there is to it. Just like everything else you bake, baked goods, just keep an eye on the middle. And if you're at all hesitant about when it's done, or making sure it's done, one of the things I do, it's energy saving as well, is I usually put things in the oven when it's preheating. That way, it's a little extra insulation on making sure everything is cooked through. Last little bit, and I think I said a thing about the butter at the beginning, but make sure your blueberries are thawed. Don't do frozen blueberries, or if you have frozen blueberries, just make sure they're thawed when you're doing this, because you want to make sure that they are not cooling the inside, which is going to delay cooking. So you're going to end up with kind of a mushy center and a really well done outside. So this is going to change your life, and you're welcome. It is very, very simple, but it is important the way we did the mixing and the folding and everything, that you do it like that in that order. Otherwise, it's just not going to really turn out right. So hope you enjoy it. Have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you in 2022. Really globby, somewhere between melted ice cream or melting.